All right, we'll record here, and then we're going to go live, and just moments from now, we should be live, and you should be able to hear me, and we should be good to go. That's what I'm saying. We should be good to go. I think we are. Look at that. Hey, everybody, welcome. Happy to see you here. I'm Roberto Booker, chief of the Flash Crash Incorporated Business Planning Association. Fantastic. Keep those comments coming all throughout the broadcast. I'll check in on the comments and see if I can answer some of the questions that you've got as we go. I'll keep an eye on those questions with my magical question answering machine. And we're going to take a look at the charts. That's right. We are going to take a look at the charts, starting with some flash crashes, if I can find them. You know, it's just when you had the perfect flash crash chart up that everything seems to go wrong. Hey, welcome to the broadcast. Today in the broadcast, I am going to give away an Amazon gift card for $50. So keep the comments coming. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you're doing. Welcome to you. Very happy that you're here. Glad that you could join together with me. Okay, in order to talk about what flash crashes do and how flash crashes come about, we're going to look at some examples of flash crashes because they're surprisingly similar in nature to each other. And if they're surprisingly similar in nature, then I think that they can be traded when they happen. And that's my theory, and I'm going to stick to it no matter if I'm wrong. This right here on the chart in front of us, which I'm going to put down here, this right here, hold on, is a flash crash. Oh, I'm going to make sure you can hear me okay. That's probably a good idea. All right. Well, there's no reason to believe that you can't. Hear me okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and triple and quadruple check, shall we? I mean, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, good. Good, I'm live. That's fantastic. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments here. There we go. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, it's working. You can hear me. I'll take a look at the comments as we go. This right here is October 6 or 7. Hey, Chuck. How you doing, man? 2016. Hoorah. All right, so everything falls apart, right? Hollande, the French prime minister or president, gives a speech about Brexit. And the British pound falls super fast. So here we are. This is midnight, October 6 and 7, 2016, the middle of the night, UK time. So Asian session. Not a lot of people paying attention to this. And all of a sudden, there is this giant candle that erupts into flames. And check this thing out. I mean, it's just enormous. Look at this move. In the matter of 2 hours, and it's really even less than that, but in just the span of 2 hours, we go from 1.2610 to 1.1875. Now, I'm not great at math, but that's 700 plus pips. And it's really just in the matter of minutes. But this is a 2-hour chart. And it's the Asian session. So here's what's happening at that time. Singapore is the largest Asian currency market in the world. It's responsible for 7% of the world's currency flow. Tokyo is just a little bit smaller than that. But Singapore comes online an hour before Tokyo comes online. And then in the middle of the night, in Europe, it's just daytime, morning time in Singapore and Japan, and there's not a lot of people at their desks. So there's not a lot of traders at their desk, Hollande gives a speech or whatever. I don't think he gave the speech at midnight. I'm sure I got my time zones a little bit mixed up, but bear with me here. So he gives a speech, and the currency market erupts into flames. It's generally during the Asian session that this happens because there's not a lot of people at their desks, there's not a lot of flow, and so the orders catch everybody off guard, and somebody pushes a button and says, I got to sell a lot of pounds now. And we're talking about $1 billion+ worth of pounds, all in the same moment, which in the middle of the New York or European session is no big deal. But in the Asian session, this, when not a lot of people are at their desks, that's a huge order at exactly the wrong time that order can be pushed through. So someone says, fine, you can sell them, you can do that, but you're gonna have to pay for that. And so the orders start going through, and they can't get anybody to buy, right? Because in order to sell, you got to have somebody to buy. And so they finally find buyers down here at 1875. A bunch of buyers come in, and these are most likely computers. But I mean, there are some standing orders, right? And those standing orders kick in. And the reason that's computer driven is that it's the middle of the night in most places that trade currency. And there's not enough people at the desk, and there's not enough people even sending in orders at this time of day. So computers kick in, and those standing orders on those computers kick in, and boom, the buyers finally come into the market down there at the bottom. So those computers kick in, there's finally buyers. But in the process, all those sell orders drive the price down, and it spikes. And that's a flash crash because it happens in seconds or minutes. Now, some of you last night were writing to me and saying, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? Now, I turned off all the robots and all my trading at the end of the year to lock in a year of profits. And I'm starting up the robots again on Monday. So the only trade I had open during this time, and I did take a screenshot of this on my phone. I will see if I can get it up I will see if I can pull it up at the end of this broadcast. This is Facebook after all. And so I had a trade from 2016, I think it was 2000. It must be 2.5 or almost 3 years old. I had a sell trade on the euro yen last night. And so the euro yen dropped suddenly in just mere seconds. And my trade that had been losing $2,000 for 2 years went up $700 and finally closed. Our friend Scott, who trades the robots, had a British pound Australian dollar trade with a profit target of $293 that closed at a profit of $29,000 last night on the flash crash. I mean, it's just crazy, right? And if you were watching this happen, so John Christopher Bowling says you were watching this happen. I mean, that's insane, right? So say hello on the broadcast. Let me know if you were watching the flash crash as it happened last night. But those kinds of events are stunning. They take us off guard. They catch us by surprise. And it's crazy, right? So there's October 6th, 7th, 2016. And that's that crash. Well, how can you compare that to another flash crash? So what I did was I pulled up the other flash crash. And this was I know when this is. This is January of the same year. So let's see if we can go to January of the same year on the South African Rand. And here it is. Look at these moves. These are just insane, right? Talking about moving like Jagger, right? Ooh, move like Jagger. So this is the Rand, or the ZAR. And this currency pair is the USD South African Rand. And guess what time of day this happened? Middle of the night. Midnight in Europe. Asian session, ton of movement, catches everybody off guard. The dollar spikes, the South African rand goes down. It's a currency devaluation. I think it was a speech by their central bank dude. Their central bank brew, right? The brew at the central bank. Hey, brew, you wanna devalue the currency today, brew? And that's what they did. And the South African rand got just shellacked, all in the matter of mere seconds. Michael says he's from Kansas City, Missouri. Kevin said it. He said all I said was "holy." And Ramus remembers that Swiss franc flash crash. All right. So anyway, it's midnight Europe. South African rand gets devalued, and there is a giant spike. And they look they look so similar. On a 2-hour candle or bar, there's a massive shadow. Who knows? The shadow knows. So the question is, how does this compare to what we saw yesterday? Well, let's take a look. Here's the euro yen yesterday. 2-hour chart. Looks pretty similar. Giant candle wick here at the bottom. You can see it right here at the bottom. I'll even mark it up here. A candle body, and then a giant shadow or wick. I mean, it's the same thing. Flash crash every time. So let's add an indicator on the chart. We'll just go one by one. January 2016. Let's add the indicators to the charts. Here are the pivots. And check this baby out. Daily pivot. R3. Price rises, it hits R3. It's exactly what we've been talking about over the course of the last few days. And then it drops back off of that level. And then from there, over the course of the next 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? 2 to 3 days. Rand, go Rand. The Rand gets back up. Julien Boutau says, if you can trade the reversal, these crashes are gold mines. Absolutely. Claire Underwood says, saw it live. Blumenek. Oh, Claire Vesey, not Claire Underwood. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Roll that beautiful bean flash crash footage. Let's add some pivot business to the British pound US dollar from Rocktober 2016. And what do we see? We see that if you let the flash crash 2-hour candle close, let it close, it's going to close near to or after hitting S3 in this case. And then it's going to gently ease up. Maybe not a ton, maybe not 1,000 pips, but 100, 200? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And it's going to hit that mark. And what happens in these moments is everybody absolutely and completely panics. They absolutely go bananas. But it doesn't have to be a giant move, but that level, that S3 or R3 level is going to be an important level in those moments. Let's pull up those levels on the euro yen. Pivot points. The pivot. We'll go daily. And on style, we'll add S3 and R3. And here is the euro Japanese yen. Hits S3 and then climbs ever so slightly up from there. Maybe the overall trend from this point on is going to be down. And perhaps it's going to fall again. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. But the South African rand, the British pound, the euro, and even the euro against the Swiss franc all recovered after these flash crashes. Some just a little bit. The British pound only recovered a small amount, 50, 60, 75 pips off of S3. But the South African rand recovered 500, 600, I mean, it is the Rand, so 1,000 pips or more. The Euro Swiss franc bottomed out on the flash crash from the Swiss National Bank. And so if your trade size was small and you were on the wrong side of that, you may have survived that. But if you were just casually observing it from the side, it was no trouble at all. It was absolutely no big deal. The Euro Yen lesson, if you were just casually observing it, you could jump on there and you could be 2 hours late to the party. You could wait 2 hours after the flash crash and take a buy trade with a really small trade size, and it's not going to happen a lot. But when it does happen, it really is something quite spectacular and quite amazing. Let's take a look at all your comments coming in. It's super happy. David Huxtable says, Oanda, eToro, etc. I don't know what the rest of the context of that comment is, so I can't answer. Claire says, partner made 800 quid out of a 0.2 lot size. Giddy up. Julien, hope he will invite you for a nice dinner. I love it when you all are conversing with each other inside the comments. Anotita last night made 2.5 thousand US dollars with a 0.23 orders. That is absolutely brilliant. Well done. Gabriel says, hello all, I have an account at Forex.com in Oanda. The Oanda was hundreds of pips larger. Right, so each individual currency dealer is going to show a little bit different because they are all going to have their own trading desks and their own volume and their own standing orders and their own orders that are in the system. Jim says, your Forex account is a micro account. I have a $170,000 account and I trade small trade size there, but not micros. Sometimes micros. And then I have a couple of $10,000 trading accounts and then a $20,000 trading account. And those smaller accounts are always micro trading accounts. And if you don't like that, just go follow some guy with a Lamborghini on his Instagram page until you go bankrupt. And I love you, Jim. Michael says hello. Beth says hello. Made over 700. Hey, Beth, nice to see you. Made 700 pips from the crash. Frank says New Zealand dollar Japanese yen drop was nearly 260 pips in 15 minutes yesterday. Wonderful. These are great. This is so much fun. CP, our friend and instructor at a major education company, he came on yesterday and did a short video for our members, and he was saying those happens mostly downward, so we have a small order super low in case. Yeah, that's so true. If you're a member, watch that video. Super happy to see all of you here. Hey, which one of you was the one who said if you win the gift card, you're going to buy a bunch of books? Because that's the one. And you know what I'm also going to do is for you. Hold on. In addition to the gift card, I'm gonna order one of these for you. One of these brand new TFL 365 mugs. Let's get you a really good look at that. I'll send you one of those as well. Those are available now off the YouTube channel. I just think it's enjoyable to drink a beverage out of your favorite trading education brand, which I hope is me. I love you all. Thanks for being here, everybody. What a grand idea this was. Had a ton of people on the broadcast, had a ton of people watching. I'm sure a bunch of you are going to watch later on. If you're catching the recording, we'll do another giveaway. So keep commenting on the post here below. Keep the comments coming. We'll do another giveaway later on today. So one of you that came live gets that gift card for those books that you said you were going to buy. And then we'll pick somebody else. I love you all. Have the best day of all time and forever. And if you liked this, let's do more of this. Let's spread the love, spread the message, share the post, tell other people, hey, there's a little recording here about how to trade the flash crash, and there's nothing to buy. I'm not asking you for anything. I just want to give you, I want to over-deliver and give you more value than you ever could imagine. This is the year I give to you, I invest in you, I give back to you, I say thank you to you, and I love the crap out of you. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I love you all. We'll see you soon. I'm guessing that the stream is over. Let's just make sure. Oh, I'm glad I waited. See, I'm glad I waited. It's important to wait.